Okay, I'm going to get you guys started on this adding and subtracting integers practice. Let me do about 5 problems here. All right, so when you're dealing with integers, remember when they disagree and they're next to each other, like a plus and a minus here, the final sign will be a negative because they disagree. Okay, so you have to rewrite this as 3. Hang on. Minus 7. Okay, because a plus minus does not agree. So it is going to end up being minus. And then 3 minus 7, now picture that on a number line. If you've got you're at 3 and you go negative 7, let's draw that. Okay, so do you see how when you go negative direction, which is to the left, 7 spots, you end up at negative 4. Now that should make sense anyway, right? Because remember when I told you that if the signs disagree, you're gonna subtract? Now I know 3 doesn't
Yes.
have a sign in front of it, but it actually does. Do you know what the sign is in front of 3?
Um, Positive
Very
or
good. It's positive. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the final answer will be negative 4 for this.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, since my computer is slow, I just wrote everything out. All right, but we're on number 3 right now, right here. And
Yeah.
number 3 says negative 5 plus 8. Okay, so now notice that the negative 5 is in parentheses. But do you see that there's nothing in front of this, right? There's not
Yeah.
a plus or a minus in front of that. So
So
basically, we don't need the parentheses.
so basically you would kid. So would you draw the number line and then you would start from 8 and then go left and then count to all the way up to -5, basically?
No, you would always start at negative 5. Always start with the first thing they give you.
Okay, so start at -5 and then go right?
Correct. Because now you're going plus 8, right?
Yeah, so
Okay, but
it
now if
would
I
be
go plus 8, I'm going to cross the 0 mark, right?
yeah, you will have a 0 right at the middle of the line and then you will do one loop and then yeah,
I'll do
just count.
three more, right? To get to 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on a second.
One uh, so one one big loop, so just 3.
Right? Because but this is 5 right here, right?
Yeah.
And I have to go 3 more, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now I want you to get to a place where you can do this on your own and you don't need a number line. You can always visualize a number line though, you guys, okay? Always visualize it, but you don't have to actually draw it. So, can you visualize in your head? I always want you to pull out, like I say, your imaginary blackboard in your, or sorry, whiteboard in your head. Okay, so
Yeah.
put that whiteboard in your head, get one of those markers. It's much easier than chalk, right? So
Yeah.
get those markers out and pretend you made a number line in your brain and just envision that. And then you're going to make the number line there if you really need it. But I'm telling you, if you're going to go negative 5 and a positive 8, does a negative and positive match? They don't. So you're always going to get the difference of the number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a negative and a positive. You're going to take the difference. What's the difference between 8 and 5? It's 3, right?
Yeah.
And what's the sign of the higher number? Which one's higher, negative 5 or positive 8?
Mm. Nah, you said -5. Oh, +8.
Right. And so it's a plus, right?
Yeah.
That's why the final answer is a plus. Okay? So let's look at number 5. We have negative 8 plus 2, or 12, sorry. So now again, there's parentheses, but they're unnecessary because nothing's multiplying. Parentheses are really only used for distribution or multiplication, okay? Which is the same thing. Okay, so now, isn't the positive 12 bigger?
Yeah.
So we know the answer is going to be positive, okay?
Yeah. Wait, what number are you on?
5.
Oh, okay. My fault.
That's okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so now we know the number is going to be 5. Now, Cole, do the numbers have the same sign or they opposite signs?
They got the same sign.
Do they? I see a -8 and a positive 12.
Never mind. They got a different sign.
Okay, so if they have different signs, are you going to add the numbers or find the difference?
Can you say that again?
So if they have a different sign, are you going to add the numbers or take the difference? Now notice I said different sign. It would match with difference. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So whenever you have a different sign, you take the difference. So all you do is take the difference between 8 and 12, which is 4 units. You see that?
Yeah.
Any questions on that one?
On number 5?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so let's do number 7. Notice 3, 5, and 7 are very similar, right?
Yeah.
However, now, okay, we've got parentheses here again, but we don't need them, right?
Yeah.
So just -7 plus 2. Now, which one is the bigger number, the -7 or the positive 2?
Positive 2. Oh, wait, -7.
Yes. So the number, you don't want to see the sign, just the number. So we know that this is going to be negative because the -7 is bigger. The number 7 is bigger. Does that make sense? So then, and aren't you going to take the difference again? Because -7 plus 2 have different signs.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you agree that it'll be -5?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's do one more here. 9. All right, so I have a -12, and now look, I have 2 signs, right?
Yes.
So what's a positive times a negative?
Positive. Negative.
Yes. Because remember, if they're different signs, they're going to give you a negative, right?
Yeah.
Here, let me write that out one more time here. Okay, so we just wrote that out just to be helpful. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Let me try that again. Just to be helpful here, little key. All right, so -12, it's going to be -1. They'll add because they're the same sign, right? Which will be 13, but it'll still be negative. You're still going to think about that number line, right? Draw that number line in your head. You're at -12, and if you go jump one more negative direction, aren't you going to be at -13?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.